Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Give me a quick sound check, please. That'd be great. So, it's actually an incredibly busy day for me today. Obviously, we are on the last trading day of August, and so no matter what happens by the end of the day, I want to, or I plan on sending out a monthly report, which would be pretty big, but also just to reflect on everything that's happened throughout the month so far. Obviously, I spent a fair portion of the month away, but it has been completely crazy, nuts. Even by my standards, it really has. I mean, we're talking about just normal everyday trading here, but the August gains have been just significant. I mean, yesterday, for example, we actually pulled in, and this is obviously trades that triggered overnight as well, pending orders in the New Zealand and Aussie pairs and that. But if I just share that part of the screen with you, no, wait, change windows. There we go. Track record. So, as you guys will see, monthly return at the moment. I mean, it is laughable, to be honest. I mean, obviously, you get all the YouTube pros out there, the social media guys who are doing 1,000% gains every day. So 31.49%, to some might not seem like much. And if you are watching this stream on catch up, you might not be so impressed. But let me tell you something, all right? I've been in this game for a long, long time. And for a fund that's run is similar as you will get to an institutional fund, risk management incredibly tight, 0.25s all the way, or 0 or less. This is impressive by anyone's sort of perspective. This is incredibly impressive. 31.5% so far. Now, we're not finished. Obviously, with the month we still have today. Our EU50 trade from this morning is very close to its target profit, but not quite there yet. We took a hit on the UK FTSE on the short today, so I'm just leaving that one alone now. I'm not looking at anything else in the UK FTSE after that short failed. So currently standing, we're minus 0.25% down. And we're looking for that win in the EU50. Now, there are a couple of trades still running from yesterday. The NZD USD, for example, which we'll cover in a moment, has come incredibly close to its stop loss, but not there yet. And that's just in a sort of range-bound state, unfortunately being blocked by a point of liquidity that I actually had marked out in the chart before taking the trade, but it's just not managed to break and close above it. So that one still might be a loser. We had a cable outstanding trade, never made it down to liquidity, so we're not exactly in that asset, but it's done incredibly well, so a little bit of a shame. And I think apart from that, the fund remains empty apart from the Euro Oz, which again is just continuously failing to break and close under the most recently formed level of liquidity. So we're kind of at this state of limbo at the moment, where if things drop in the bag, we're going to do well, but if at this stage if they don't, then it's going to be at least a minus 0.75% day, excluding of course this afternoon the US markets open and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just been pretty nutty. We also, by the way, guys, we did actually take a hit. One of our pending orders in the Aussie NZD long, and that was a pending order that I left in the markets. Didn't want to remove it, quite liked it. That one actually triggered this morning as well at early hours in the morning. It was probably about 7:30. When I just got to the charts, it triggered, and very shortly after that one hit stop loss as well. So that's another minus 0.25%. So that's minus 0.5 as it currently stands right now. So it's been a little bit of a sort of rocky start to the day today. I'm hoping to finish positive, of course. It would be really nice to get a little bit more of a gain in the bag before the August month comes to a close, and just to really kind of drive that momentum home that we've seen so far in August. But yeah, I mean it's just been insane. It's just been insane. I mean, if we look at the 29th trades here, these are the trades, even, right from the beginning of the trading day, 1:15 in the morning, when things triggered, and these are the some of the whatchamacallits, the pending orders that triggered overnight. NZD USD was a win, Aussie NZD win, EU 50 win, US 30 win, NAS 100 win, gold win. I mean, it's very good. Very, very good. Very excellent day yesterday. Previously we'd incurred, just spotty wins and losses all over the place. But as always, our risk reward is extremely good, and it just does its job, doesn't it? You guys know this. You've seen it, over longer than a year now straight. And it's just kind of really picking up steam now. But if we look at the gains and the losses here, on this particular chart here, you can see, I mean, July in itself was a record-breaking month. Absolutely insane. And look at August. I mean, we've more than doubled the July gains in August. We start off August 2023, and just to put things in perspective, we were at 11,700 a year ago. Okay, and now we're 76,000. Now, of course, you have to take into consideration the fact that the account itself is growing. Okay, and this is really where the magic of compound interest comes into play, because of course 0.25% of 100,000 is worth a lot less than 0.25 of ultimately 320,000. So every 0.25 now is going to be more than doubled what it was before. And so therefore the financial returns are going to be significantly increased. But even if you take that information and look at this is still such an upscale from the previous month's gains. I mean, it's just incredibly impressive. So yeah, it's very good. I mean, put things in perspective again, 21st of July, 24, we're on 2,021,806 pounds, and now on the 30th of August we're at 320, and so we've done basically 100 grand. It's it's really good. So anyway, the main points here to take home with you: things at the beginning will always be slow. Over time, things speed up. Things get more, the returns become more and more. And as you gain momentum and wind in your sails, as I like to say, you will see those larger and larger gains. So it's not about making a shitload of money in the course of your first, 6 months of trading. Your first 6 months of trading is supposed to be a grind. The real rewards are for those who can stick it out long enough to see the kind of returns that they want to see, not the get-rich-quick lottery ticket wins. And I know many of you know this, but it also helps to see it in real time. Obviously, hugely helps to see how it should be done, as opposed to what you guys see all over the bullshit tube and stuff like that. We got internet problems again. I don't know, my ping this time is remaining at 20 ms. Okay, alright, cool. Alright, yeah, no worries. Thanks, guys. Yeah, cool, all good. So yeah, I mean, so, I'm really hoping, well, I'm not hoping anything, to be honest with you, but what I wanted to say is, now that this kind of stuff has been done, I would expect there to be a huge drawback, not a drawdown, not a drawdown. I'm still looking at. I'm still confident in the fund's ability to perform in all state structures, of course, but I do not believe after the significant growth that we've seen this summer that we will see that continue into the winter months. I think it is very unrealistic. This is unrealistic to perform consistently like this at this level. Unrealistic. So it's been an incredible 8 weeks, but now I think we'll probably see it slow down quite significantly, and yeah, we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes at the end of the day. If we start doing 30% every single month, then my God, I think I've probably hit the Soros level of financial returns, and I I am not Soros. So I would much rather be a Paul Tudor Jones, to be honest, and I'm not him. I'm just not intelligent enough to be like that. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we? We'll have to see how it goes. But regardless, I'll finish up that little tangent there. Just wanted to give the fund a little bit of a shout out. Incredibly resilient across multiple state structures. We've managed to handle sort of semi significant bear market territories in the global stocks. We've managed to protect ourselves against massive risk aversion, sentiment changes in the Japanese yen and the US dollar and the Swiss and stuff like that. And we've managed to see consistent gains throughout. So I think it just goes to a little bit of a sort of not for me by any stretch, but just a little bit of a round of applause for the fund itself, and just for its resiliency and the fact that it has been done now right with you all at the same time, same every day, to see it in real time. It's it's good stuff. Right, anyway, before I start getting teary-eyed, let's go away. Let's have a little look at what the markets themselves, see what's been crack-a-lacking, see if we can see some final trading opportunities to tie up the month's end. Why on God's earth is my trading view not available on the screen share? That's a problem. Stop streaming. Trading view, where are you? What the hell? Okay, alrighty, so let's start from the top of the list then. We'll work our way down. UK Brent obviously at the moment's not tradable, so not really worrying about that. We did actually fail the break close and retest yesterday, so that one's sort of basically null and void here at the moment. We did get a nice BCR on top, but that's again, it's not really the trade idea that I wanted. Do appreciate that I've got that outline there, but as I said yesterday, I was happy taking the short. I don't want to be taking this long just yet. I want to be ideally trading either from the major inflection points above or below, or taking the short down here, which I don't mind too much. Gold at this stage, really nice range at the moment. We can see sort of major market inflection point above here. Lots and lots of institutional money sat at around that 25-26 area up to around 25-31. We want to be aiming for the shorts here. Of course, my long-term prediction for gold is upwards of 28 to 3,000. But I don't think it's going to happen overnight. I still think this range is intact at the moment. So I'm looking for that breaker structure entry for a run back down to the bottom of the range. Then we can look at buying it back again, just as we've done a couple of times before here. Really beautiful range in gold at the moment. So I don't want to sort of turn my nose up at it. And I will still be looking at that breaker structure entry after the run away from big liquidity up there. So what I will say, guys, in terms of news today, I mean, we've got personal income, personal spending. Both of these important economic indicators, okay, by a mile, they really are. I find these really interesting, right, because you get to see what the excess income is of households across the United States, which also leads into consumer price index data. So, if they remain relatively stable, 0.2, 0.2, fine. Personal spending, if there's a significant rise in the personal spend, that means there's going to add fuel to the inflationary fires in the CPI. So I will be looking at that one. Now, in terms of real market impact, it ain't going to be much, okay? And I know I said that quite crassly, but it won't be much. So I think we're probably looking at a relatively minimal catalytic day in terms of fundamental impact to the market, which means gold will be traded on organic trading volumes, not with the assistance of any news sort of volatility strikes or anything. And furthermore, because of that fact, we'll probably be looking at a relatively slow day for trading volumes today. And so therefore, if the market doesn't break structure and trigger before, let's say, 3 o'clock this afternoon, then just forget it. Don't worry about gold. Just leave it alone and wait until next week, because I don't want to be leaving a gold trade open over the weekend, and I definitely don't want to be taking one on a Friday afternoon, because that just counts trouble. Nothing in the AC at the moment that we can immediately take. Aussie yen, to be honest, unfortunately not. Still waiting for that long. This is definitely going to be removed today. Okay. In fact, guys, I'm going to put the fund alert out now for the live stream. That is dead. No more Aussie long. I'll look at that one next week. I may add it back in, but for all intents and purposes, I'm going to remove that from the actual pending order list. I'm going to write that down quick. Yeah. So yeah, that's that. So looking at this one, possibly for shorts, there is the possibility that if we reach this area that we could look at a short completion before the weekend today. I don't know about this point of liquidity down here. At the end of the day, that's 3 o'clock in the morning. This is 9:45. So there's quite a distance there, price time ratio wise. I think if we really want to be looking at a very short term and successful position, then we should be looking at this area in here for a TP and be looking at this area in here for a breaker structure. Now this is going to be a super clean little trade so long as we get it right. So of course this essentially can be removed. Actually, just thinking about this now, I don't even know why that was really there based on the top of this. But the breaker structure area, if we rally into this area up here and we reject this area, then we're going to be looking for the breaker structure up there, which means we can move everything up, and this then becomes the TP. So let's say, for example, we break right up into here, reject this level, breaker structure somewhere around 98.86, impossible for me to say, then I'm going to be happy taking a short from there down to here as my trading opportunity for the day for a 1 to 2.7. That would be a nice trade. So let me just articulate this with the path. We push up, we get into liquidity, we fill our boots with institutional shorts, we come down, we break structure in this area here, and then we push down to our target. That would be, the kind of trade that I'd be looking for. And this is something that could realistically be completed within the next sort of 12 hours. Aussie NZD, unfortunately we took a loss on this one, triggered this morning early, hit stop loss very shortly after. I did like this, we were looking at this one yesterday together, weren't we? It did look good, and I'm not, there's nothing about the entry that was incorrect or anything. It's a good trade, just unfortunate it was one of those. The shorts aren't actually looking too bad here as well, I would say that. Not dismayed to take a short in the Aussie NZD, so possibly looking at something like this and then looking to clear out to the low. So if we can clear through this area in here, we'll be looking at a structural point about there for the short, so long as we can make a fresh low. And then I'll be looking at taking the short entry just below there. Target profit, top of the zone. Stop loss, nice margin above the breaker structure point, which is going to be about there. Not a fantastic trade by any stretch. Entry's a little bit weak actually, so probably put that up a little bit. Yeah, I mean that's a 1 to 1.8. So that's not too bad. So I wouldn't mind that one either. Just to make you aware though, it's quite a significant move from the day's high down to that area at 0.41%. That is by no means impossible, okay? We've done way significantly bigger moves. But it's because it's a Friday. That's the only reason why I would put a little bit of an edge around that one, and not, that was probably the wrong word. I'm not talking about like a special trading edge. I'm talking more specifically, I feel cautionary looking at the Aussie NZD to do that, to complete that full move. But it's a realistic trade. It's a good set of criteria for the entry barrier. It makes sense. So that's going to be my trade in the Aussie NZD for today. Nothing in the Aussie dollar. Euro yen, nope, nothing in the euro yen today. Euro NZD still kind of ranging, still waiting for this long to trigger. It's not been removed yet from our order books. To be honest, guys, I'm just not really feeling it at this time. I don't know. Is there any harm leaving it in? I mean, we've got an Aussie NZD short here. If we're buying the Euro NZD, we've got double the exposure pro New Zealand dollar. I mean, at the moment, we've got this little one here, which is consistently coming up against liquidity and sporting against it. So we're buying the NZD here as well. That'll be 3 NZD pro trades. So to be honest, I think I'm going to knock this one on the head. It's had an opportunity to come up twice now. It's not done it, so I'm going to be marking that down to bin. So that's gone, and we'll be setting ourselves up for that one next week. So Euro Oz, this is the point I was talking about as well. We've been coming back down, smashing this level over and over again. It just continues to do the same thing. The point I want to make to you, the interesting one, is the level that comes right the way down through here. And it does seem to have quite a significant impact so far. As we can see here, it's got numerous points of interest along its journey and along its route. And so therefore I will hopefully be looking at this one, continuing to form that wedge and then popping through just to hit that TP at 162.50, just below where that level of liquidity is. So we'll have to wait and see on that one. It is a shame it's come so damn close, and now we're kind of just like teetering on the edge of the trade for a long time waiting for it to come through. But we'll see how that one goes. I'll monitor it throughout the day. If we're still trading at 163 by the end of today, when I shut down the PC or whatever, then I probably am going to do a manual exit order on that one and just get it out of the markets, just because I don't want to leave it open across the weekend and incur any more additional risk that I don't need to. Euro USD, no thank you. Pound against the yen. Since yesterday, there have been another 2 trading opportunities in this one. It really is down to you guys. Look, at the end of the day, I'm not going to start whining at you saying, well, you shouldn't be doing that. At the end of the day, it is a trading range. It's just, for me, it doesn't promote good practice. We're having to take some extremely aggressive and quite sloppy entries that unfortunately don't really allow solid risk-reward ratios. I mean, if that's the trade there, okay, you could take that as a good trade idea in hindsight. But to be honest with you, that's going to be a shit stop loss. And the stop loss really wants to be below the low of the move, which means your stop ideally is going to be about there, which is leading then to a 1 to 1.3, which just isn't worth getting out of bed for, to be honest with you. So you can trade this range at your own risk, but there will not be any trade ideas for me until we break free of the big LZ up at around 192, or alternatively breaking down below structure, which is about there at the moment at 189. Cable, we also mentioned this one as well, waiting for the push and the liquidity here just a bit deeper, where these highs are, to get that move to the upside. This is what I said by it being a bit unfortunate, because we'd actually done so well, but we hadn't reached my buy side area, and so therefore there is no trade. There was never a pending in the market for this one, of course, guys, because I was waiting for the manual order on this one. So I'm going to remove that one as well. There won't be any more trading in cable until next week. NZD JPY. Nothing to be done about that one as well at this stage. I don't even want to be trading that intraday today, so no trading opportunity. NZD USD we're stuck in for the time being, so that's that. USD CAD. I mean, there certainly is there is certainly is a good train of thought for a breakout long. We've got an ascending level rising up through the lows here as well, so that makes pretty good sense. Not bad. A little bit of a rising wedge here. Maybe we break the rising wedge, we come back down to the previous lows, but I don't know, man. I am not entirely sure. I think there's not much about this that looks nice, okay? There's not. There's a lot of grinding around for these sporadic and erratic moves from US fundamentals. You'll always see these big moves at sort of the FX opens, 8 a.m. or 9 a.m., sorry, for the FX Open, and then 1:30 for news, 1:30 exactly there for news and stuff. So it's quite sporadic. Oh, bless me. So what I'd be looking at is possibly a push into liquidity up here, right? And then a break of structure here for a short back down to the white ascending level. And that's what I'd be looking at. So we come up, push in liquidity, break a structure trade in there. Target profit's going to be the white ascending level, which is going to be about here. Stop loss, those 2 points there for a 1 to 1.8, maybe even a 1 to 2 to be honest, actually. Yeah, I mean, that's a really little trade. That's not too bad. But just to be absolutely clear, market needs to push to here and then drop down and we can trigger that trade. Pending orders can be locked in the market once the market hits this level. So how do we go around doing that nice and easy for us so we can not have to be at the PC constantly? All you need to do is whack in a little alert. Stick an alert in there. When the alert triggers, it's just a real easy case of just locking in your pending order and walking away. USD Yen, no, nothing on the UJ. That one's all dead now. And then we've of course got the stocks. Oh, well, hey, EU50's hit target, so that's a nice 1 to 2.37. So that's gonna be 0. I actually don't know what that would be. 0.575? Maybe 0.575 or 0.6, maybe 0.575 possibly. And then we're minusing the 0.25, so you're gonna have about 0.3, and that'll be what we're up for the day so far. So nice little EU50 win there. DAX did quite well as well, but I didn't like that one. Too many technical risk factors, and the UK FTSE hasn't actually done anything just yet. Still grinding around. So setting us up for the US stocks then. It's going to be pretty difficult. I think what I would rather do is possibly step away from the charts now, and then come 2 o'clock this afternoon, just like I did on holiday, I will post out some plans for the US stocks, and just to get that closer. The reason I want to be really, really anal with this and not do a long term, 4 or 5 hours away from the open, is because I really want to push for the for the maximum gains in August. And so I want to make sure it's going to be on time and right there with you when we need it. I think at this stage we have enough trading opportunities to take and to watch beforehand, so we'll be all right. Jay's alongside you in a couple of weeks. Yeah, definitely, man. I'm just catching up with the messages now. So, James, you say hopefully I can start taking some trades alongside you in a couple of weeks, which sounds great. Gold looks like it's formed a channel. My gold swaps last weekend were $500. Yes, I remember you saying, and the gold swaps can nail you big time, so don't leave it open over the weekend. EU hit TP, closed UK at double bottom, DAX closed also. Fantastic work, Michael. Well done. Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, so I'm going to wrap things up there, guys. Definitely got some things that you can work on, which is great. We're not going to be without trading opportunities today. I will be in and around, and I'm going to be definitely present this afternoon for the US Open, so I'll be firing out some ideas for us then. So, yeah, good stuff, James. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Glad to hear it. So I'll leave it there. I hope you guys have a really good day today. Don't be strangers, and yeah, let's go kill it. Last trading day of August. Let's see what we can do. All right. So take care, guys, and I'll see you then. Thank you. Bye bye.